Boogety Boogety Boogety, JB. Let's get back to racing. I got a quick reveal. I want to whip it out for the crew. The Dale Earnhardt. I would never, ever rock anything Austin Cindric as long as he rides the number 3 car. You switch your number, I'll switch my tune. I'll start singing a different tune about you, and I'd rep you and I'd rock you, but not in the number 3 car. This is reserved for the greatest, the best,
heard it here.
The Intimidator.
You heard
Dale
it here first.
Motherfucking Earnhardt, baby.
Heard it here first. Austin, if you want to get Chase's respect, you got to change your number.
Change your number.
Just change your number.
Change your number. I'm pissed off at your granddaddy for even letting you drive that car. Fuck you.
It's not his fault.
It is his fault.
It's not his fault.
You know what? Fun fact. This is. We're diving into it right now, Jimmy.
Oh, we're getting into
Richard
it.
Childress. He owns his car. He drove it number 3. You know what his best finish was? 5th. You know what Dale Earnhardt did in the number 2 car, which we'll be talking about later. Top 5 cars. Throwback Weekend. He won a championship number 2, and then he won 6th in the number 3 car. Fucking Richard Childress couldn't win 1 race in his own car. Dale Earnhardt won him 6 championships.
I mean, some days you got it, some days you don't.
Do you know how many championships in their RCR's history that they have? 6.
Oh.
All of them from Dale Earnhardt. That man is Richard Childress race. He built that. Oh, I get heat. Obviously,
that's factual.
We're gonna dive into.
Don't get Chase started. Don't get Chase started.
Throwback Weekend. It was a fun weekend.
It was.
And
a
I'm
good
fuming
weekend
like
of
Ryan
racing.
Blaney fans right now because he had a great second half of that race. Oh.
It was a very disappointing race. If you're one of these 3 racers that we're gonna bring up here, but
yes.
For one of them, they had an amazing day, and somehow you sneaky son of a bitch snuck out there and got a win. Denny Hamlin goes out there and wins this race out of pit row with, what was it, 0.62?
9.42 second pit stop.
What?
We were texting. It was late in the race. Your guy Tyler Reddick takes over on the green flag. Stops.
I was so nervous for this guy because I'm like, come on, you only got a couple more laps in this. I know you can do it. Just stick it out there, but no.
Oh man, no! You can see the tires.
It was a rough loss.
You can see the tires. You know, Darlington's the track that Tyler Reddick led the most laps at in his career, and he led like 45 or something, like 43 laps there on Sunday. William Byron started the race. I honestly, after he won stage 2, I wanted him to go wire to wire.
I thought he was going to go to distance. Honestly, just you led this entire race, didn't let anyone slip up and get past you, and stage 3 just kind of did him in.
Yeah, and I think it's this has been a common theme. I think the last 5 or maybe now 6 lap leaders at Darlington have now lost the race, or at least have not won it. And honestly, I think the 243 laps led by William Byron matches the laps led by Carl Larson as one of the previous 5 lap leaders who did not win the race. That was the most laps led to in a Darlington race that where you didn't end up winning. So at least in the last few years.
Speaking of Carl Larson. Rough day.
Oh, yeah.
Very rough day for my guy, Carl Larson, out here. 4 or 5 laps in, hits the wall, spin out, and then his crew is just working on trying to get him back on the track. And I thought his day was done after that as it is, but they somehow got him back on the track.
Yeah, send him back out there 163 laps down, 165 laps down. And they're asking, what's the point of even getting back out there? And they're like, well, he lost the regular season championship last year by 1 point. So any point you can get, matters. You don't want that DNF. But, I mean, God, if you're Ryan Blaney and you just crawled back to take the lead with 6 to go, and then a car 160 plus laps down gets in a wreck and costs you the race. That is such horseshit.
Like I said, it was a tough day, man. It was a real tough day.
It happens. It's what happens. Unfortunate flag there on the caution. But god damn. Honestly, I thought it was a really fun race. You had William Byron just dominating for the first 2. He had such a fast car when he was out there in that clean air. And then late in the race, you've seen the fights, the fighting, the competition heating up as people were trying to fight for track position. You see the tire wear and stuff taking hold, and those last 25 laps or so when you've seen guys really moving forward and back. Ryan Blaney,
guys really fighting for it those last 25 laps, man.
Ryan Blaney looked like he was going a clear 20 miles an hour faster than everybody else on that track.
I mean,
he was cooking.
Dude, it was a good race. It was a very good race. Like I said, Will Byron, you led those first 2 stages. Third one, you couldn't get it done. Next thing you know, my guy Tyler Reddick sneaks in there, just gets you a little bit, And I'm rooting for this guy this whole entire time. And I'm texting you back and forth because I know in my heart he's not going to be able to win this race. Like, I just know something is going to happen. And then we got the caution flags as well, too, which kind of sets everything aside. And then everyone just stops in pit row to get some fresh tires going on. And your guy, Denny Hamlin, sneaks out of there, gets in the first, and then just kind of just coasts from there on.
Once the caution came out, it was going to be a race off pit road. Whoever got the best track position was going to put themselves in the best.
And his pit crew is amazing.
Oh,
they're top notch. They introduced themselves during the race as well, too. Fastest time that they've been out there. They've been working with him for a while, and he just adores them, loves them so much, man. Happy to work with them.
100%. You know, they've been recruiting like former collegiate athletes.
Yes,
to, like,
I've
join
seen
these
that
pit
too.
crews.
Like,
I was like, oh shit. Oh, you have like former Clemson linebackers.
You got footballers, wrestlers, like just all these college people. I was not expecting it. I thought you were going to get like some guy working at an auto shop somewhere. You know, like,
I thought I could maybe go be like a tire carrier or a jack man. Definitely not. You got to be able to like swing that like 60-pound jack behind.
I was gonna ask if you've
stuff.
seen that too as well too. The guy who's like the jack for the car, just whipping his boy around his back just to get across the car. I would take off somebody's legs if I had that.
Yeah, I'd take out somebody's legs, or I would take out my own legs. And if
trying to attempt this.
Yeah, I also know that if like I'm like one of the tire changers and the dude with the jack swinging around, I'm gonna be in the wrong place at the wrong time and just get whacked, and it's gonna be tough. I'm gonna fight through it, get to the other side of the car, finish changing up there, and then just try to
limp over to the sideline like
yeah, and then slowly try to like glue my shins back together because they're gonna be in shattered pieces. But
oh man,
honestly, when we got the caution, JB, I thought this was gonna be William Byron's race to lose. I was like, oh shit, Willie B is gonna get the chance to, because he has that last pit stall, and it's like, and that's the thing is like in qualifying, if you didn't know this, JB, you get to choose your pit stalls at the track. So that last pit stall,
see, I didn't know that,
is the most advantageous because you get to go all the way down there, like you get to, like, and then you have the shortest like distance to like try to cover. So it usually people like that last pit stall, and I thought, okay, he's got the best spot. Denny Hamlin was a few back though, and man, he zipped out of that box. I was kind of waiting for them to throw a penalty or something. I was like, this guy was
like, this is a little too fast. So you getting out of the box like this.
Yeah, he shot out of there like a rocket. But I mean, I guess he kept it under the 55 miles per hour minimum, and it ended up working out for him. You know, he had almost a car length lead exiting pit road, and then it was William Byron, your guy Tyler Reddick, all right there. So it was very tight for like second, third, fourth, but. Man, 9.42 was the difference after on a 400-lap race.
And this is his first back-to-back since 2018. You know, so when back-to-back races, could we see another Christopher Bell type of competition going on? Could he win the next two?
Maybe. You know, we actually have Denny Hamlin Victory's Winner's Circle Victory Lane car on. And where does it happen to be from? The very next track on the calendar.
Bristol.
The last Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. Can Denny pull out 3 in a row? That'd be
this is a hell of a year.
You know how insane that would be? That'd be both 2 different 3-race win streaks for Joe Gibbs Racing on the season.
That'd be insane. That is amazing, impressive as well too.
JTR having a year,
dude. This has been one hell of a season already to start. Like I'm locked in as well too. Michael Jordan was there as well with the 2311 car. I've seen him out there. He was a little disappointed by the ending, obviously, but you know, you can't be too upset.
I wonder how it feels though, because he's like 2311 team, like he owns the team with Denny Hamlin. So then he's like,
you won. You're my partner,
but you don't win for us. it's not like he doesn't race for us. 2311, he's part of Joe Gibbs Racing, but still, like I know what you mean. It's like, you know. It would have been cool to win as the owner, not as the driver.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's cool seeing MJ out there. You know, it's like, you know, for people who are like, oh, NASCAR is like not that cool. NASCAR is for hillbillies and rednecks and stuff like that. You got the GOAT out there. Yeah, literally, fucking the jump man. You know, rocking his team. But honestly, like we've talked about them multiple times. The 2311 team putting out some of the coolest looking cars week to week.
Absolutely.
Performing at some of the top tier each week. Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, and they also have Riley Herbst there. He's a rookie, so we'll kind of let the rookie be the rookie.
Yeah, let the rookie be the rookie.
But the vets, Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick, those guys are just lighting it up this year. They're having great years. Obviously, they want to get a couple wins, a couple more, top fives, and some, better finishes and whatnot. But
Absolutely.
I mean, you can't be hating on what they're doing so far, and especially for this newer team. Hopefully bringing some new fans to the sport. I mean, I think it's really exciting, and although I will tease a little bit, that Columbia Sportswear did not make my blind rankings or my car of the week this
Stop
week.
it.
But it did look really good. It
You
did still look really good. And
I'm so hurt. I'm so hurt right now.
Since it is a special weekend, a lot of really cool paint schemes with the Throwback Weekend. We did open it up a little bit. Normally we got the 2 honorable mentions with 2, and then the 1.
Yep.
Yeah, I threw up the middle finger. the one
2
car.
and 1.
This week we've got 4 honorable mentions, and then the 1 that we're gonna give the nod to, just as a bit of an homage. There's too many cars to pick this week.
It was a really nice paint job out of all the cars, especially being a Throwback Weekend. I was actually surprised by a lot of these cars as well too, like how they just kind of mixed in new school and old school as well too, just to bring them back to life. And
yeah,
I was impressed.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's cool. The Kyle Larson car, I saw was getting a lot of love, and it definitely reminds me of that old Terry Labonte.
I really like that car.
Yeah, it looked sweet. It sucked that it was only on the track for a few laps, and then until it was in the garage for 160. But I think that was another reason why they probably wanted to get that out there. They're like, all right, are we really gonna put all this
all this effort into
6 laps? Just get out there. And then he crashed into the wall the same exact way. My dad texted me right after the flyover, right after the national anthem, and he's like, "Who you got in this race?" He said, "I'm thinking Tyler Reddick, and I'm picking Denny Hamlin as my second driver."
Oh,
and then I was like, you know what? Willie B. I got William Byron. He's on the pole. He's looking fast. Those flames. And I was like, but you know what? I'm gonna put Kyle Larson in the back pocket as that other driver who he could just put out a fast time and a good finish. And then 6 laps later, I text him. I'm like, guess Kyle Larson's out.
Well, Larson's out. All right. No.
Then we get down to the end of the race, and I was like, watching all right, Willie B. I was like, William Byron, we got the, I was like, guess he's looking pretty good. And then the green flag stops, and it's like Tyler Reddick takes the lead. And I was like, I guess I wasn't right, but my dad's going to be. And then what happens when Tyler Reddick loses the lead? None other than his other pick to win the race. So shout out you, Dad, when you watch this later. And I sent it to you. You end up getting the right pick.
Your dad knows racing.
He does. He definitely.
Your dad is a gearhead. I hope you know.
Oh yeah, dude. I'll hey, what do you think of the show? And he'll start critiquing me, and I'm like, all right, man. We're doing this for fun. Okay?
Shout out to Dad. Shout out to Dad.
But JV. Let's throw it back. You want to start diving into those blind rankings, or not the blind rankings, but the car rankings?
Yeah.
So
I think I went first last time, so I'll let you go first this time.
For sure. Well,
what do you got?
I'm gonna take a look at mine, and number 5 that I want to acknowledge is the honorable mention. I was just talking about it. The Exalta Flames 24 from William Byron.
I didn't put it at 5.
I did, yeah. Honestly, I didn't think it was as cool coming into the weekend, but I think part of the performance of the car, and then the fact that it was Jeff Gordon's last ride in a NASCAR Cup Series car, full time. Pretty cool. I dug the flames. I thought it looked silver. The silver looked cool with the flames as the sun started to set more and stuff. So, it snuck in there. It definitely wasn't going to make my top 5 going into the weekend if you would have gave me a pre-race rankings. I definitely would have put in there, but just due to the performance, I was like, I'm gonna give the nod to that number 24.
Okay, I respect it.
All right, and another one, a classic, an homage to Cale Yarborough, and this again, the font I think is what sold it for me. The font and the style of the Pennzoil Shell Joey Logano number 22 throwback.
Oh, okay.
I
like that.
The font reminds me of my cousin's high school basketball team. They had that old school retro font, and they had saw this weird memory there. But also the Cale Yarborough.
I mean, as long as it connects, yeah.
Yeah, I like the tone of the yellow and that orange was kind of a paler yellow. Again, one of those cars that as the race went on, I just kept going man, I like seeing that go by. So if I feel like my pre-race weekend judging and my post-race weekend judging, there's definitely some differences.
Yeah.
I will say the one I did, my number 1 never changed. It was always going to be my number 1. So, but rounding out my 3rd honorable mention, I don't hate the family. I hate the fact that this one driver gets to drive this one car.
I knew he
I'm
was
going to give
going
some
there.
love to your brother,
I knew he was
Ty
going
Dillon.
there.
I thought that Beaver Street Fisheries car in the throwback looked pretty cool.
Really?
Again, it was one of those cars that as the race went on, it kind of warmed up on me. I was like, oh shit, I thought there were some other cool cars and that could have been thrown out there, but I feel like those are gonna get a lot of love, and they did get a lot of love throughout the race. I was like, you know what? I thought these cars looked cool. I thought some of these drivers performed pretty well as well, comparative to like how they normally finish. So you know what? We'll give them a little bit extra love. This week, JB, for my last honorable mention, I think some of our viewers might have heard us talking. I think maybe
They might have.
I think maybe
They
some
might
of
have.
the people who work in the marketing department at old Long John Silver's decided we're gonna go all white with that throwback paint job because they delivered this week. They were so close last week. I told us to making that car rankings list, the car of the week.
The Long John Silver's car was kind of sweet. I'm not gonna lie.
They had the all white. It looked good. Like I said, I will not eat at Long John Silver's. I still judge the people who do eat at Long John Silver's, not too harshly.
Judge the people that eat at Long John Silver's.
Again,
wait a minute. What's wrong with Long John Silver's?
Again, I'm gonna tie this. This is gonna be a little bit of a rewind from last week.
Oh my god.
The only Long John Silver's I've ever been to or seen in person in my life is off West Ave in Jackson, Michigan. It did not look good.
I mean, they don't look good from the outside.
Yeah,
it
it looked like a poor building. I was just,
like I said, like you have to go inside to see and like order the food.
I don't think I've ever been in there. We went through the drive-through and it was like during.
Oh come on! You gotta at least sit down in one and be like, oh okay, this isn't that bad. But
maybe it's something we could do together, JB. I did love them enough to put them on my list though. But
that's factual, yeah.
But the undisputed car of the week. As soon as I saw they were rolling this paint job out a month and a half ago, I was creaming in my shorts because I love this man so much. Dale Earnhardt, Austin Cindric in that Freightliner number 2. What were we talking about at the beginning, JB? The throwback to the Australian racing team where Dale Earnhardt won his first ever Winston Cup championship. Throwing it back, honoring the legend. I know they had the king out there on the broadcast, and Richard Petty is the king.
Shout out to Richard Petty, man.
Dale Earnhardt is the greatest. I love Dale Earnhardt. He is the man. He is the myth. He is the legend. And there will never be anyone greater than Dale Earnhardt in my eyes.
You put him at number one.
Number one.
It's impressive. I will say that. He's not in my top 5.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
He's number 1 in my heart. That's all that matters.
That is true. My top 5. You might not like this one. Number 5, rounded out, honorable mention, Ross Chastain and the
it was on my list.
In the Busch car.
It was close, JB.
It would just look cool. Like I'm not gonna lie, the fish on the side.
It was so hard not to put that on there. We have a literal beer mirror from a bar with that Bass Pro fish on it.
Get out of here.
From the cabin in Mount Pleasant. My roommate loved it so much when we I retired from working there and stuff, and my boss was retiring too. We both live in the Metro Detroit area now. They asked if they could take it, and then like months later, after we moved out of Mount Pleasant, we all met up, and we were like, hey, in between bars, we like stop by the car really quick, and they pull out the beer mirror. It was pretty sick. But I didn't mean to steal your spot.
Oh no, you're good. Hey, it's good to know these stories. Hell, number 4, Austin Dillon. I don't know the name of this company. I feel like it's like a medical company. Berserk.
I'll look it up for us.
Bertrees. I'm not too sure about that.
Breasttree?
Breasttree, is that?
We'll say it like that, yeah.
Breasttree. I'm not too sure what kind of company this is, but I think I just like the black and yellow paint on the car for me. So that one helped. Number 3.
The black looks good. Number 3 looks good in black.
Number 3. I really wanted to put this car higher, but I had some other choices due. Kyle Larson, the Tiger Stripes. I just like it. It was cool, even though you didn't see it out there for that long. I still liked it. It did
look good. It's that Terry Labonte, the older brother to Bobby. That Bobby Labonte throwback is nice. He's also done the Kellogg's throwback too, and you can go I've seen like the semi truck Kellogg's Kyle Larson.
Oh,
it's pretty sick. So
hey, all right. Number 2. This man led 2 stages. Could have went wire to wire. Will Byron.
Oh, I want him to go wire to wire so bad.
why? Just why? But he had the flames on the car, and they helped him out this whole entire race. It just didn't help him out that last stage.
Hell yeah, he was a heater, bro. It was a heater for him.
And I tried to be different, but I just couldn't. I couldn't with this one. My number one, back to 2311, Bubba Wallace, the Columbia car.
Okay.
I just like the colors on the car.
It
I like
great.
the colors.
The colors are amazing.
The scheme is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, Columbia Sportswear is sick sponsor too. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
When you said 2311, I thought you might dip into the McDonald's bag again.
I was going to, but I know I did that last week, so I wasn't going to double dip.
Fair enough.
I wasn't going to double dip on that one, but yeah, that's my top 5 that paint jobs were just amazing.
I mean, that's solid, JB. I like I said, I don't think there was like a wrong way to go, and I think we're going to try to go through like all the different paint jobs.
Except for Josh Berry. I did not like that car. That like military green, like it just it did not stand out at all to me, and it was just like, why?
And then he ended up crashing out in it, which sucked. But do you know that they're running that at the Brickyard again? They're gonna run that paint scheme again because it's like it's a throwback to an Indy driver, and they had to get special permissions to use it and stuff. So I guess the fans or the people who like allowed it, and like the indie fans are like at the Brickyard, they asked if they could redo that paint job for the Brickyard. So we'll at least see that again.
Maybe if you switch up the colors, I don't know, but like it just did not look appealing at all. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. One car that like I thought was really like, I feel like the wane on it faded throughout the week. But when you first saw what Chase Elliott was driving, I was just like, what the hell is like it? I understand it was like the throwback to the Ken Schrader, but it just, and I understand that other teams were doing different sponsors, like, you know, like the new sponsor, the current sponsor with the old school look, but it just didn't seem to blend well. And I didn't care for it. I didn't think it looked as bad as the race week went on, but when they dropped like the William Byron flames, and you're like, yeah, he's rocking Jeff Gordon's last ride, and it's like, oh, cool, you got the flames out again, the silver 24, and then all of a sudden, looking great, the number 5 with the Tony the Tiger stripes. You're like, oh, baby, and then you're thinking like, okay, there are a ton of really cool like schemes that you could throw back for Bill Elliott, but I guess, they want to keep it within the Hendricks scheme, which, like, I get it, but,
yeah, they still want to keep it within the family,
just lackluster. I liked the black and white Allied 48 from Alex Bowman more than I liked the
That was cool, too.
Yeah, it's just, like, simpler, but, like...
It was a simple scheme, just plain simple. Sometimes you don't have to do a lot to look cool.
What did you think? I was hearing rumblings that, like Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace, Ryan Blaney, they're both kind of getting a little, they're like, I feel like this has kind of run its course. It's like not as cool anymore, blah, blah, blah. They're like, I love Throwback Weekend. I don't know. What about you, JB? Do you think like there's some credence to what these guys are saying?
No, I love Throwback Weekend just because of the simple fact you're paying homage to old school, the classic era, but you're also mixing in a little bit of the new era, what you have right now. So I always love that. I will always love throwbacks no matter what sport it is, regardless. I will always love throwbacks because, like I said, you need to know where you were in the past to get to where you are right now. And they do that by paying homage to all these previous drivers and, racing companies as well, too. So shout out to all these throwbacks, man.
Facts. I love it. I think Kyle Busch spoke really well on it. And he said, look, this is for the fans. It's not for us. It's like, like they see the inside of the car, we see the outside of it, and so like I was like, Kyle Busch sometimes rubs people the wrong way, but I was like, you know what, hey,
respect.
Glad to hear him sticking up for the fans, because he's like, as a veteran, who's longest tenured driver in the sport right now, he knows that like what it all is, and like he's been where these young kids are, and he's out where he's at now, so like I think taking his perspective into account definitely is nice to hear. Hopefully they continue Throwback Weekend. I'd hate to see them don't take it away.
Don't ever lose that. Don't ever lose that.
But speaking of some throwbacks, JB, I want to talk about the cars on the desk really quick. We got the throwback, we got the Elliott Sadler, we got the Casey Kane we've talked about. Obviously, we had to throw our guy Ryan Blaney semi-truck up there.
Shout out.
We talked about the Denny Hamlin victory circle, but there's a couple on here that I want to highlight. It's the
What you got?
So we got this last week. JB comes up to me and he poses a question. Very simple. He says, Chase, Bass Pro Shops or Lenovo? And I was like, what do you mean? And he said, just pick one. And I was like, okay. And I thought about it for a second. And I was like, you know what? Lenovo. And he was like, what? He was shocked. I could tell he did not expect me to pick Lenovo. And then all of a sudden he like turns around and he hands me this Lenovo Kyle Busch tie-cast. And I was like, JB, that's so sweet of you. And then he pulls out and I was like, so what's the Bass Pro Shop? This motherfucker. He tried to sneak me and Austin Dillon to the Bass Pro Shop.
Hey, look, it was a nice color scheme. I thought you would have took the bait, but you didn't.
Oh, it is. I've been in the store and I've held the car in my hands and I've thought this looks really cool. But I feel like such a turncoat. like I'd have to like pencil in and like draw like the 8 or something like that. I can't like the fact that it's number 3. I can't disrespect Dale. I can't
disrespect Dale, damn it.
So JB got me with that, and I was like, all right, I got to get him back. So last week, I'm at the store. See a couple Brad Keselowskis. Michigan Zone from Rochester Hills, 2012.
Shout out.
Champion, the dude who slayed the Jimmy Johnson Dragon, stopped a streak. See a couple different Brad Keselowski diecasts. I'm like, all right, we'll keep it the same driver, but we'll switch up the sponsors. So we had this Castrol Edge and the King's Hawaiian. So when I see JB, I kind of pose him a similar question. I'm like, JB, are you more of a or a kind of guy?
I was completely thrown off. I was so confused. I'm like, what did you just say?
He had no clue. We were down at Tiger's opening day, so there was a lot going on.
There was a lot going on. I'm like, what?
And he thinks about it for a second. He's like, can you repeat the question? And I was like, yeah, of course. Are you more of a or a And he thinks about it. He says he's more of a So I do my part. I reach around. I hand him the King's Hawaiian bread.
King's Hawaiian.
And then that was last week. We had the weekend off. We were talking over the race weekend and stuff like that. And JB this morning before we get to recording, I tell like he also like if you watch Wake Up Woodward, our other show that we do together, he gave me a couple weeks ago a Dale Earnhardt Jr. throwback Sundrop number 3 in the old school models that I've been carrying in my pocket for like 2 weeks now everywhere. I forgot my wallet today and I forgot the car and I'm pissed off about it. But
so it was time for a new one.
That's exactly what he said. So he said Wendy's or computers and technology, right?
Yep.
And I went with Wendy's because as you guys have been following along, I was talking about the Arby's car.
You're a fan of the food car?
I did the Long John Silver's car. I should have did the A&W car last week too. I completely missed the ball. But
A&W was kind of
their food, their business model. But
all right, food wise, yes,
their car looked cool. But yeah, I said I went with Wendy's, and then JB pulls out the Shane Van Gissenberg Wendy's car with the cool frosty
on the front hood.
Hell yeah! So that's my boy JB. I just had to say thank you once again. Shout out my guy.
Of course, man. Anytime.
And just a one of a kind individual, and yeah, I mean, I have such a blast doing this show with you, man. And like I hope
as well, man.
Hopefully the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16
We're slowly growing.
Yeah, who watch along with us, hopefully they have just as much of a fun time watching with us. Hopefully maybe if you aren't into NASCAR as much, you're getting a little bit, or maybe if you do like it a ton, maybe you're seeing us grow a little bit in our knowledge and our fandom and enjoying the ride as we go on. I do believe we did forget to do a top 5 blind rankings this week, which is okay. Yeah. Mix it up, keep it fresh. We expanded the car of the week, so that's kind of like.
And I think we had a lot more fun with the car of the week, especially given it being the throwbacks as well too.
100%. I mean, I could have spent the whole time just talking about some of the car of the weeks too.
I definitely could as well too. There were some stinkers as well.
Yeah, right, let's hear some of your stinkers, JB.
Here we go.
Let's hear some of your stinkers.
Oh well, I already mentioned one. Josh Berry. I'm sorry. That just did not look well for me. Michael McDowell in the Delaware Life
Yeah.
What was that?
Dude, the Spire sports team just didn't participate.
What was it?
Like, I didn't.
That they just didn't care? Or
I don't
like,
know. I guess not, because it's just like, but yeah, the number 7 that the number 77 Carson Hocevar, who drives the number 7? It's blanking my mind right now. But either way, none of the Spire Motorsports cars participated, which I thought was crazy. It was like, all right, but like, show us that you're a non-serious team in NASCAR. Like
Nora Gregson,
Noah Gregson, yeah.
the Beefaroo. What was that?
I thought the name was funny.
The name was funny, but like I don't know. It just says it on the side. Like I didn't get to see the front of the hood as well too. So maybe there was like a sandwich on there or something, but it was just like,
I think it's just like a red Beefaroo flag, like a label or something like that. But like I didn't hate it, but I get it. I'm kind of bland. I saying Beefaroo to me just gives me a chuckle. Like Beefaroo.
Like it just sounds weird, and I'm just like,
funny.
Beefaroo.
Sounds like dog food, like a dog treat. Like you feed, like pepperoni. Like I'll give instead of pepperoni, they get them Beefaroo.
Beefaroo sounds like a sandwich special at Arby's that they only bring out seasonal.
Okay, yeah, I totally see that.
It's
like
a seasonal sandwich,
like the Arby's McRib.
Yeah, like it's a seasonal sandwich at Arby's.
Yeah.
Ty Dillon in the Beaver Street. Did you see that one?
Yeah, that was one of I made that honorable mention. Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
I didn't care for it.
It wore on me like as the race went on. I was like, okay, this car isn't looking as bad. I think it's like I thought it looked good. There were so many cars this weekend.
Yeah, there were a lot of cars this weekend. I'm proud of everyone doing all these throwbacks, except for people who didn't want to participate in it. But
yeah, honestly,
the Dollar Tree car wasn't bad.
I wish they would have done the Chip Ganassi font number though for the 42, that old school font. Like I like they did the offset. The Dollar Tree did look cool and stuff, and I'm kind of just like rolling through the different options we have on the side. But when they had the King in the broadcast, Richard Petty, and they had Kyle Petty up there too. They were talking about how like just the iconic look of the red and the blue on that Petty car, that 43.
I like the color. The colors.
Undeniable, that color looks fantastic.
Yes.
And he is the king. Won the most races, shares the most titles with my GOAT, my king, Dale Earnhardt. So.
He has the most knowledge on that track as well too. As you heard him on the broadcast as well too, just spitting facts.
Oh yeah, they're cooking. We're looking at the 71 and the 77. Like just no participation at all. This sucks.
Do better.
SPG in the 88. Like I understand. Like they're gonna throw. There's not really as much to throw back to. Like they're different teams, so you can't really throw back to the Hendricks cars. In a way that you may want to, or that maybe the fans might want to. But I thought the 99 Quaker State car looked pretty cool.
It wasn't bad.
I like the green. Something about a good green color on a car looks good. And it's like it's a different shade of green than that Josh Berry number 21, which I know you're not as fond of, but
not as fond of it. Brad Keselowski in a Castrol car. I liked the color, but I did think it was a little too much.
It almost made my list.
It was a little too much of a paint job, but I did like it. It's just
the gold on it was like.
The gold was fire mixed with the black, and then it's just like everything else around it just kind of.
He was running.
Just added so much to the car that didn't need to be there.
He was running so good, and I was thinking, and honestly, I was kind of letting some of my list fluctuate as the race is going on. I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? These RFK cars. At one point, they were 4, 5, and 6. I want to say, or they might have been 3, 4, 5. But the RFK were running like with Ryan Preece, Chris Buescher, and Brad Keselowski. I was like, dang, these guys don't have a day. And Keselowski won a couple of years ago at Darlington, so he's familiar with the track. I was looking forward to it. He lost that nut, which ended up.
That was crazy.
Yeah, which ended up saving William Byron in the second stage, allowing him to extend that lead that he had. I mean, honestly, I don't think he keeps the race to lead the whole 243 laps.
I also believe there was a shortage of tires with that team as well, too. Like,
oh, bro, the first two cautions, but there was the Kyle Larson caution on lap 6, and then I think there was another caution on like lap 18 or something like that, and like they were like already getting fresh tires on lap 6, and it's like, oh my god,
you only have like 4 sets, so it's like, hey,
they were talking about like like, are we gonna have enough tires to finish this race, like the sticker tires, because it's like obviously like you run 6 laps, you might be able to still use those tires, but they're not going to be as fresh as the sticker tires. So I thought it was kind of fun. I liked the lengthy green flags in between the cautions. I'm just thinking back to mostly last weekend's Xfinity and Truck Series races where I was just like every other lap, it seemed like they were throwing the caution flag. It was like 30 in each between those both races. So it was cool seeing nice like just long runs, the cars getting loose, and then I like seeing like how the cars handle in the long runs, the ones that really like as the run gets longer, they get better. Like Ryan Blaney's car, like it's like. Because I don't know, I like the marathon.
We all like the marathon.
Yeah, so that's what I love about it, and we'll look forward to the Southern 500, the extra 100 miles, and then come back to Darlington. So, been a fun weekend though, and
it has been a fun weekend, man. We gotta hit up one of these races. We
do.
Definitely have to hit up one of these races.
We'll be hopefully making it down to the Grand Prix. Oh, really quick, because Sam's about to come in, dude. I was leaving opening day, and
Oh yeah, you definitely got to throw these pictures.
Yeah,
up
I'll
there,
throw
man.
them in there, dude. I ran into a Grand Prix car. This lady like walks up to me with that like little piece of paper, and I thought she was trying to like sell you
something.
Stuff. And I was like, and then she's like, "Oh, win tickets to the Grand Prix." And then she's like looking me up and down. She's like, I'm trying to size you up right now. And I'm like, yeah. And I was like,
you might have got a phone number. I don't know.
And she's like, and I was kind of like. Looking at her like, I wonder what you mean by that. And she's like, I'm wondering if you'll fit in that car we got behind. And then she like points behind me, and there's a Grand Prix car, like a Formula One car, like right there on the sidewalk on Grand River Avenue in Detroit. And she's like, I think you'll fit. She's like, you might have to like shimmy down in there, but you'll fit. And she's like, go on and get in there. And I got to climb in the car. It was badass. So you guys get to see me.
I'm so jealous.
I'm elated.
So jealous.
I had such a joy on my face. I was smiling, and then I was like, I got to look badass. I got to mean mug, like throw up the number one. Like, so
I'm so jealous. I wish I could have seen this car too.
Hopefully, we get to go down the Grand Prix, JB, and and then MIS too will maybe get some cool behind the scenes experiences and stuff like that too.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll try to work on it.
But hell yeah! But this has been our 5th episode or 6th. Yeah, I think. But either way, this has been another episode of Fast and Loose with JB Smooth. He's fast. I'm loose. I know we forgot it last time, but not this time. So we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
See you.